A new jobs report just came out, as we mentioned earlier, showing the labor market is continuing to cool. CNN's Maribel Aber joins us now from the NASDAQ market in New York. Good morning to you, Maribel. So give us the details and how's the market reacting to this morning?
Hey, good morning, Jonathan. It's a weak jobs report and could factor into the Fed issuing an interest rate cut later this month. So the U.S. economy added just 22,000 jobs last month. That's far below the 75,000 that were forecast by economists. It's also well below the 79,000 jobs the economy added in July. At the same time, the unemployment rate ticked up slightly to 4.3%. So Wall Street is looking to see the details of the report for signs as to whether the job market has just slowed or if it's rapidly deteriorating. And with the Fed focused on the labor market, this weak report is expected to be yet another reason for the Fed to cut its key interest rate. As far as markets are concerned, Jonathan, right now we're seeing all green arrows here at NASDAQ. We're up 144 and the Dow is up 72.
All right. Well, Maribel, let's also talk about Spirit. Spirit is grounding flights in a dozen cities, we're hearing, while some competitors also seeing some changes. What are you hearing about that?
Okay, so Spirit's ending service in nearly a dozen cities this fall as the bankrupt airline fights for survival. Birmingham, Alabama, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Columbia, South Carolina are among the cities where Spirit will end service. The changes take place in October, according to CNBC. Rival airlines like United and Frontier have been adding flights in a number of markets Spirit operates, including Spirit's home base of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A United executive said flights were added in case Spirit, quote, suddenly goes out of business. And just last week, Frontier Airlines announced 20 new routes that compete with Spirit. Jonathan.
All right, let's now turn to Gap and Old Navy. When you think about them, you pretty much think about clothing, but now we're hearing they may be getting into cosmetics.
Jonathan, Gap's Old Navy stores are expanding deeper into beauty products. Starting this fall, the stores will offer a wider assortment of beauty items, including some sold under the Old Navy brand. Now, the rollout includes everything from skincare and makeup to hair products and nail polish. And according to the Wall Street Journal, most will be priced under $25. It's a change in strategy for Gap as it looks for ways to grow beyond its core clothing business. But Gap is expanding into the beauty business relatively late. Retailers from luxury brands like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, other retailers from Abercrombie and Fitch to Urban Outfitters have all moved into beauty in recent years. And Kohl's even has Sephora shops in its stores. But Jonathan, I'm old enough to remember when it was called The Gap, not Gap, for the generational gap.
Okay, yeah, that was back then. All right, so let's talk about this, Maribel. Are you ready for some football? It is a big football weekend, and it sounds like that might be a safe bet for many people who are hoping to strike it rich.
Oh, Jonathan, I mean, this is big time. I'm sad, though, not 7 hours of uninterrupted football. We got commercials now. So the NFL season kicked off last night. It's expected to be a record-setting one for sports betting. Legal betting in the U.S. is forecast to grow 8.5% this NFL season to $30 billion. So that's according to an estimate. It comes from the American Gaming Association. And executives at sportsbooks say betting has been strong despite economic uncertainty and concerns over discretionary spending. So far, there have been no reductions in the average size of bets or how often people are betting on sports, according to one CEO. Jonathan, I only caught the highlights, but what a way to kick off the season. You got the drama, you got the weather, and a close game. It
was a lot. It was a lot going on. Now we're going to be talking about that later on. And by the way, sports betting, we're not supposed to do it here in Georgia. It's technically illegal, but it's still part of kind of the way of life here. We'll see. All right, Maribel Aber.
We'll know about the parlays. Okay.
There you go. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend.